Now we will be talking about the evidences from the physiology. Now, physiology means the metabolic processes in our body. So, how can we consider and how can we take the evidences from the physiology for the purpose of the evolution? Now, see, what happens earlier also we had discussed about the anatomy. We have seen about that there are structure which are same in function but they are not same in structure. Example, analogy, analogical, and then where thereafter we have talked about the homologous, then analogous structure may we have seen the example bat wing, butterfly wing. All these are nothing but the same function, having they are using it for the purpose of flying, but it is not structurally same. But in the case of homologous structure, we all have seen that the animals structure are same but having the different function. Example, the forelimbs of whale and human. So likewise, the physiology. Physiology means the various metabolic processes. Where when we compare the various metabolic processes, we will understand that all animals have the same protoplasm. Protoplasm is same. So definitely all the physiological process which are carried out will also be the same. Now why I am not talking about the cells? So cells are different. If you will observe the human cell, they is deprived of the cell wall, but the plant cell will have. So all the inner material of the cell, that is the protoplasm, it is almost same in all the animals, right? So I'm talking about eukaryotes, huh? So whatever function they will be doing, like metabolic processes, Krebs cycle, glycolysis, electron transport system, and all. This will be same in all the animals. So this shows that they all might have been originated from the common ancestor, right? Now, when we talk about the processes, now before the processes, I like to tell that the material is also same, genetic material is also same. When we will be talking about the evidences from the genetics, that time I'm going to discuss it in detail. But the organelles, cell organelles are also made up of the same material in all the animal. That's why all the basic processes like glycolysis, Krebs cycle, this all are also same. When we talk about the excretion, so you will observe that excretion is basic. They all are. What do we mean by the excretion? Excretion is removal of nitrogenous wastage from the body. Now, when we considered the lower animals, so on the basis of the type of nitrogenous wastage, the animals are categorized as aminotelic, urotelic, uricotelic, guanotelic. Now, I will tell you in general. We will consider the evidences from physiology on the basis of excretion later, but we should have the clear concept about the excretion process when we talk about the aminotelic. So, the animal which excretes the ammonia, okay, directly ammonia as a nitrogenous wastage are called as the aminotelic. Most of the time the animals those who are present into the large quantity of the water, they are having such kind of the secretion because ammonia is toxic and it requires large quantity of the water for excretion. Then thereafter with the evolution, amphibians and human, they all got the urea excretion, and this urea cycle up to some extent is same in all the animals, right? Then at more and more developmental stages. The evolution is the uric acid, which is the excreta of the bird. So the animal, those who secretes the uric acid are called as the uricotelic. So Eurocotelic are birds. Why? Because birds are adapted for the aerial life, so they should not carry the big excreta in their body. So for that particular reason, to dissolve the excreta into the smaller quantity of the water, they are adapted or they are evolved to excrete the uric acid. So then after venotelic spiders and then your spider हो गया, spider, sepia, and few animals are there. Those who are excreting the guanine, their excreta possess of the guanine. So this is also the type of the ammonia only. Now, how this urea cycle helps to understand the evolution. Now, when you will observe process of excretion in all the animals, it requires the urea cycle, which is one of the most important evolutionary evidences. Now, when we talk about the freshwater fishes, so they excrete the ammonia, right? Because they can have the lots of water to dissolve the ammonia. And then you will observe the tadpole, which are the amphibian larvae, they also excrete. Now, when you will observe the adult amphibian, they are excreting the urea, but their tadpoles, that means in the initial stage, they are evolved from the fishes, hence why they are excreting the ammonia. Now, when we talk about the bird, so bird, they excrete the uric acid, but their embryo, in a very initial stage of development, they excrete the ammonia. Then, in the late developmental stages, they excrete the urea, and then thereafter, in the adulthood, they are excreting the uric acid. So, it is showing the you can say the evolutionary development. First ammonia, then urea, then uric acid. So this way the bird is showing all three type of the excretion in the various stages of the life. Early stage, it is secreting the ammonia. In the later stage of the development, in the embryological form only, in the egg only, they are secreting the urea, and as they are becoming adult after hatching out, they are excreting the uric acid. So this is also showing the uh, one type of evolutionary linkage. Then after that, now I like to explain few terms before explaining the next point: precipitation, agglutination, coagulation. Precipitation means forming the precipitates which are settling down. Agglutination, formation of the complex which are suspended into the colloidal form into the solution, means it do not settle down. Then coagulation, it is simply formation of the clots. Okay. So because students always get confused, that's why before explaining this point, I explained these particular terms. Now, see, when we talk about the physiological similarities, it is showing the gradual evolution, means gradual improvement into the more complex processes into the higher animal, with the minor differences like as the animals are evolving, they are getting better and better adaptation. So, George Nuttall has designed one test. That test is called as the precipitin test. What he has done, he has observed when the animal is having the similarity. So that means their antigen will be similar, and the similar antigens, they will form the complex and it will cause the agglutination. So more, and if animal is having more and more similarities, so what is going to be happen? more and more augmentation will be occurring. So he has observed that if the animal like human and chimpanzee blood were taken, so it is showing more and more precipitation as compared to the dog or cat. Now, why it is happening? That means the human blood is more similar to the chimpanzee than the cat or the dog. So this is all about the evidences from the physiology. Now we will be talking about the evidences from the genetics. Now first, when we talk about the genetic, so we need to remember that DNA is made up of the nucleotides. We all know it very well. So these nucleotides are same in all the organism, whether it is plant, whether it is animal, whether it is bacteria or any animal. Everyone is having the same DNA basis. When we talk about protein, so our proteins are nothing but the amino acid chains. So these amino acid chains are same, means similar type of 20 amino acids are. Students, point to be remember here, few more amino acids have been discovered, and they are given the different names. So two, three are there. So, but in general, when we talk about the amino acid, so all the proteins in all type of organism, they have the similar type of amino acid. That's why we can use the even the microorganism can be used for various biotechnological purposes, which we have discussed. Then, when we talk about the uh, chemistry, means mixing, so we need to remember that we will talk theories later. When we talk about the designing of the DNA, so DNA is almost same in all the animals. Now there are many tools which we are going to learn in TY which helps. Even you are going to do it, those who have taken BZ combination, they all are going to learn it into the botany in TY, that the this particular how to see the comparison. There are various tools, blast and all, so which shows how much percentage is similarity there in two animals. So you are going to do it in practically in your TY. So when all such things are done, so we can understand whether it is divergent or the convergent evolution. Because of the evolution, this genetic code has made the different type of proteins and the organism evolved slowly. So if human DNA if compared with the chimpanzee DNA, there is only 1.2% differences. But same way, if the human DNA is compared, human DNA means the human genes and concern here. So when you will observe with the gorillas, human genes differ 1.6%, with the baboon 6.6%. So it shows that there is a close evolutionary relationship with the human and chimpanzees. So this is are the evidences from the genetics. Now next we will be talking about the theories of the organic evolution.